what a way to start. Guys battled. We had every opportunity to cash that one in. Played very sloppy in a lot of ways, but it's tough to win. Tough to win games, and they battled tough toward the end, and some guys stepped up big time. That Kean Boo with that at bat in the ninth. It's just kid's a baseball player, and he's ready for his opportunity and made the most of it. Keishel had a tough night, and then all of a sudden, when it counts, he steps up. Goffey was asking me if I was going to put the bunt on there, and I said absolutely not. Keishel's due. He's too good a player. He's going to get something done at some point. But all around, a lot of things to work on. Certainly, we came out and did a lot of things that were ugly. But on the same token, we battled and got it done. So that I'm proud of.
Last year, after the opener, you told us you realized why baseball ages managers like it does. Is that reinforced tonight?
Yes, to the nth degree. But on the same token, that's kind of what makes it fun too. Obviously when you come out on top, it's easy to say that, but it's that's the rush, I guess, that you get when on the other side of it from not being a player, being a coach. Now you get your rush in certain ways, and to me that was a headache at some points, but at the end of the day, we did enough to get it done.
How about Will Anderson, Coach?
He was outstanding. Made a couple of great defensive plays that kind of went unnoticed, I think. Kept runners off second base on balls hit down the line. I'm not quite sure what he was thinking on that stolen base at third. We had talked about that with that particular guy, but he just decided he was going to go. All I'm saying is he's lucky he was safe. But he came up obviously with the home run and a big knock there to walk it off. So, Will is he's a great kid. So it couldn't happen to a better kid.
And he was last year pretty streaky, having a lot of highs and a lot of lows. For him to be right in the middle of this order with the guys ahead of him, what would it do for this program if he can kind of use this and keep going?
Well, he's, Will really gives us the opportunity to lengthen out that lineup, just with, obviously you see his power. We all know about his power. He has it, but he's becoming, he's worked very diligent on becoming more of a well-rounded hitter, and try to keep the streaks, longer, the hot streaks longer, and the other streaks shorter. So we've had to work on some stuff. Just approach-wise, and he's taken it, run with it, and done an outstanding job. A couple minor mechanical things, but at the end of the day, willing to listen and willing to learn is the first thing I would say about him, and he's done an outstanding job making adjustments. So hopefully tonight's just the beginning.
You mentioned it a little bit regarding just like his defense. He looks a lot more comfortable out there. He played such an all-around really good game tonight. How much do you think that is important, not only for your lineup, but just for him as development? He's still very young, obviously, but how important do you feel like that is for him?
I think it's huge. Just big confidence booster for him, for our team. Will's a guy that is capable of catching, every day as well. But he's transferred out to left field, and again, never complained about it. Just tried to get better and better and better, and the hard work that he's put in is paying off. So, and then same thing offensively. Started off extremely hot last year, and then hit a little bit of a funk, and then picked it up again toward the end. So, his game's about adjustments and doing whatever it takes. He's just been outstanding in every sense of the word.
What did you like from Ross and small sample size that you had? You gave that back in the first game?
I think you see the stuff. The stuff is there. It's just a matter of getting him back lengthened out, getting his pitch count back up. And using his whole repertoire of pitches when he's able to throw his breaking stuff for strikes. His fastball plays even better than it did tonight. They got a couple he got in on guys pretty well tonight. I think they got a couple of fisted hits, I guess, for lack of a better term, there in the first that kind of got him in a little bit of trouble. But at the end of the day, his stuff's real. It plays well. If we can get the off speed more consistent, everything plays up even a tick higher. So, we'll continue working.
On a night where some veterans such as Campos and Tobias and Rogers kind of led the way offensively, Luke Hill himself went 2 for 3 and made some big plays in the field. In his first game was a collegiate baseball player. What do you have to say on a kid that didn't even know what position he was going to play coming into this game?
Well, that's you know, a little bit of. I'm happy for Luke. You know, he's you know, he's a kid that has a lot of talent, a lot of tools. You know, we just have to make sure he thinks the game, thinks along with the game, and for a you know, true freshman to come in and start at shortstop at Arizona State is, you know, we obviously believe in him, that he can do some special things. So you know, there's some times where we gotta trick him a little bit and make him keep the edge, for lack of a better term. So you know, but I think the biggest play of the night was the rocket one hopper that he bodied up and kept it in the infield, and I think got the force out at second. I think really that's the play of the night for me defensively, because you know, a normal freshman doesn't, you know, kind of maybe sideswipes that ball and it gets past him, but he bodied it up. I think bases were loaded there. It's a big play. So he all around had a great day, and hopefully turns the page and gets ready to play again tomorrow.
Coach, from a manager's perspective, when they had the bases loaded in the ninth, Carrick came in from center and was a second baseman. I'm just wondering, from your perspective, being in situations like that, how would you have ruled that from a scorer's perspective, dealing with all the, you know, different people playing different spots situationally?
From a scorebook's perspective?
Just booking it and just dealing with bringing different guys and things like that.
You know, I've done that before. We did that a couple times last year. As far as how to score that, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'll let the brains figure that one out. But you know, Cole Carrick is a tremendous player for them, and he's capable of playing shortstop, center field, catching. You know, he's an all-around very good, talented player for them. So I wasn't surprised, you know, when they did that. I wasn't surprised they took the bat out of Campy's hands and then Ethan's hands and tried to set up a, you know, a double play or a force play right there. That was, you know, the right thing probably for them to do. But you know, at the end of the day, you know, like I said, Will picked us up right there, which was big.
Coach Stevenson had a solid outing today, won 4 innings. What did you see from him during his outperformance?
I saw, you know, when he attacks the zone, his stuff plays outstanding. You know, I think he was tipping his pitches a little bit, which is why they kind of started putting some wood on him toward the end there. But his stuff was still good enough to get out of it. You know, we'll address that you know, what we caught on that here toward the end. But all in all, you know, mid-90s fastball and good off speed. You know, when you trust the off speed stuff, it's good. You know, and I think that's a guy that we're going to need definitely. You know, once we get Ross lengthened out and, you know, whoever decides to take over that Friday night role, the other guy will push either to Saturday or Sunday. But, you know, we'll see. That'll play itself out. But all in all, he did, you know, pitch 4 solid innings that kept us in there, which was great.
A couple of base running mistakes for you guys tonight. Is that something you guys had trouble with up through the fall? How are you guys going to address it?
No, I mean, there was some ugly base running, really ugly, and that was what I was probably, from an offensive standpoint, that was the most disappointing thing of the night for me, really. You know, we work on that stuff and making sure the left-hander goes to the plate, and, you know, those guys are like, well, he was leaning that. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care. You got to see the ball out of hand right there in those counts. We're not trying to straight steal right there, and that's the part that was frustrating. Is those were counts in which we were, you know, the hitter is protecting us right there, so we don't have to get a great jump. If we get thrown out stealing, we get thrown out stealing, but it's on the hitter right there to swing at a strike, and you got to make sure he goes to the plate in those situations. And we got picked, you know, 2-3 times. That's sloppy and ugly, and I'll take the blame for that because I didn't do a good enough job coaching him on that apparently. So we'll address that. I didn't address any negatives tonight. Let him celebrate tonight, but we'll address that tomorrow morning.
If I'm not mistaken, I think it's your first walk-off on that any last year.
It's a good year.
Yeah. So what was it like just for you, just that kind of rush, seeing the guys mile the field?
You know, those are the things that you know, that's why you play. You know, I guess at the end of the day, when you have those moments, those are what you remember. And you know, best teams I've been on in my life were teams that won late and walked off. I mean, that's like you that's like 2 wins right there. Especially with the early game coming back tomorrow, you gotta you ride that emotional high and come back and hopefully use that to your advantage tomorrow. So we were on the flip side of that too many times last year. So hopefully things have turned and find a way to win tonight, which will be helpful.
With Crenshaw sliding in there at right, was the plan for him to always go to start at right, or with Nick McLean kind of being scratched with the injury and things like that? What do you make of his performance, stepping up, having some key at-bats and bringing some wins?
Yeah, so Nick, we're going to be without Nick for a while, which is unfortunate. That job was his in center field. He earned it. We had Jackson kind of slated in right. Nick is still available here the next couple days, but at the end of the day, we'll be without him for 5 or 6 weeks probably with a hamate injury. So, that was part of the plan going into this offseason, is we needed to get depth, and create competition. So Wyatt Crenshaw is an older, experienced guy that has had a lot of success. It's been at a smaller school, but the kid can flat out swing it, and is a very athletic kid and can be a very dynamic offensive player and plays a good outfield too. So we don't feel, obviously it hurts to lose Nick, but at the same token, we feel very confident with him or Kian Vu or whoever we decide to put out in the outfield alongside of the other guys.
The bullpen, seems like you guys are still kind of figuring things out there. It might be like a closer by committee type deal to start. What do you think about Wayne Scott in particular? I mean, he kind of got the rough end of the schneid just coming in there with bases loaded and then having to deal with what he went through the next inning. What are your impressions with those guys, and what do you think they can do? Do you feel like tonight was just kind of them sort of shaking off some game rust? What's the deal with that?
Well, we've been playing a lot of games, so this is obviously the first time we get somebody in a different uniform in a while. But Jesse came in a tough situation there, and you see the stuff's electric. To where it was just the first pitch we got. I think there had to have been a mix-up on a sign, 'cause that's not the pitch we called. But again, there's a lot of things we got to address for tomorrow and moving forward. But the stuff is real. The stuff's electric when he's in the zone. It's good stuff. So we feel confident with his arm in the back end of the bullpen. Whether or not we, use him to close, that's the initial plan. But Brock Perry's a guy that has closed a lot of games for us and is accustomed to that situation. I think Lebimoff is better than he showed tonight. He just got the ball up a couple times and fell behind some hitters, which is not characteristic of him. So again, we got a lot of things to address too. It's not like we played outstanding tonight, but good enough to get the W, which is important. But if you can win and still have things to address, then we'll move in the right direction.